One of the hardest things I think that I'm dealing with right now is knowing when it's appropriate to say something and when it's not. Knowing what should be shared versus what could be shared. I'm usually a big fan of the should, would, coulds. Um, and I feel like we spend so much time of our lives trying to advertise that we're in a good mood. It's like this automatic response thing. It's when you're out in public and it's hello, hello, how are you? Good, how are you? Good. And that's all. And that basic setup then leads us into all these bigger and deeper conversations about things that aren't really completely true. We don't always share our hearts. We share our good experiences because we want to celebrate our joy and our laughter and our freedom with the people we love. But then we don't always share the bad experiences. And then sometimes, even worse than that, is that when other people share their experiences that are bad and that are somehow negatively affecting them, we turn away and walk. And this is not like a general thing, we all at the right times come in and give the encouraging ear, but our general theme is just all this positivity and nothing negative. And this is where I am right now. Up until about 2 minutes ago, I just had this revelation about 2 minutes ago about how wonderful everything is right now for me. Over this last 4 months, the conflict and the struggle that I experienced by leaving Texas, leaving my career, my life, my friends, my family, leaving everything and going off to California to create something new, to create this new life. And I did that because I, for some reason, wasn't appreciating and being grateful for my current life. And the California trip turned out to be just much different than I thought it was. And for the longest time, I was so drained by all of it. And I felt so victimized, and I felt so stupid, and I was angry at myself, and I just couldn't believe, and I started questioning, what if I can't get back into the dance community? What if I can't get these jobs? What if all this stuff does not line up for me? And what I realized, all of a sudden, all of these huge struggles and these huge conflicts became moments of wisdom. I learned so many things by walking away from my life and going somewhere else and then coming back. The first thing I learned, karma is real. Sowing and reaping, cause and effect, echoes, waves of repetition, patterns, whatever word you want to thesaurus it to with your beliefs, that is real. And what I find most interesting about it is that you do this thing, and I feel like I've said this before, you do this thing, okay? And for me, it was when I was the floor manager of my last gymnastics job. I was very assertive, forward, narcissistic, unwilling to compromise, not very receptive to other people's ideas. It was all about... And that energy built for about 2 years. And then there was a break. There was a break on both sides, both in the staff, in me, in management. All of a sudden it was like I had set myself up to be viewed a certain way by these people. Okay, and I was so unresolved about it for years. So unresolved about it. I felt like my life, everything, it was gymnastics, and all of a sudden it was school, and then it was dance, and it was these new dance jobs, and it was just this total new path that I had no possible way to foresee. It was not in the life plan, was not in the schedule for me, and I was unresolved. So I go off to California and get this job, and I end up literally working for myself. The person that was there was just like me. And there were so many traits that and honestly, what was interesting is that I was mad at her and frustrated with her. And then all of a sudden I realized she's me in a different time frame. The energy came back. It echoed, and it finally hit me. And I remember thinking to myself, oh my God, I all of a sudden had huge amounts of forgiveness for all the people that I had reprimanded and had been basically an a-hole to. And all of a sudden I was angry with myself. And I just couldn't believe that I was like that. And now, after reflecting on it and getting back home and getting stable again and recollecting myself, I'm just realizing that I learned that lesson. That every single action we have in this world will come back to us. Even if it's not today or tomorrow or from the same person or in the same place, it will come back. And the number one thing to remember is that when you see it in someone else, something that's part of your past, compassion, love, forgiveness, acceptance, and that's how you move forward. And you go on to the next thing and you rise above the tribulation, because the tribulation is the work to get the prize. You know, like if you want to build your own car, you get everything, you all the parts, and you can't just sit there. They're not just going to come together magically. Like, you have to go and do it. Put it together, the work. And it's a trial, it's a tribulation. Can you put in the energy to finish this car? Can you build it from pieces to a complete uniform construction vehicle? Is that something you can do? And then once you get it done and you sit down inside of it, this was also worth it. And that's how I feel right now. In this exact moment, I feel like this was worth it. All of this tribulation, and let me tell you, like the amount of drama that I have brought to my life that I've been experiencing over the last 5 months is incredible. And I'm getting such a very different view of myself. And it's not even that I want to change who I am now. It's that I finally understand why I am the way I am and where that's leading. And it's forward and it's positive and it has this build to it, and there's this great fall that just occurred. And if you're in that place right now and you're at the end of your year and it's 2018, then I tell you right now, let it go. Move on from it, because if you're holding on to the pain or the suffering of past choices or other people's past choices about you or whatever, if you're holding on to that energy, that's all you're bringing to yourself. And when you let it go and you drop it down to the earth, or you let it go into the sky, like when you do that, peace comes. And then all of a sudden there's a new awareness of how you're going to treat yourself, how you're going to treat others, the boundaries that you're setting for you, the boundaries you're setting for them. And you have to honor all of these things that are happening, because these boundaries and these rules are what keep us safe and what keep our energy protected. And the only way to give our energy, which is most of our goals, we want to give something, is to protect your own energy. Because if everyone else takes it from you, or you allow them to steal it from you, then you have nothing to give. And at some point where it's in this giant drain, and it's all about holding on, like, let it go. Like, let it go! Oh my God! Like, because it feels so much better when you do! And before I end this video, and I've been talking a lot about forgiveness over the last few videos, my last thing to leave with you is this. Forgiveness is only for you. It's not for anyone else. If you offer forgiveness to someone and they don't forgive you or they don't take it, that's not on you. You gave the forgiveness. And then, after you forgave them for whatever wrongdoing they did to you that you had a hand in, somehow you were involved and accepted, then you forgive yourself. And even as I say that, I get this deep, like, knot above my belly button, like right in my yellow to orange power centers. And free will comes from living a life without debt. And if you have emotional debt, it's more detrimental to you than anything else. The physical debt is probably just a reflection of the emotional debt. not thinking that we can get somewhere because we're not capable. Whatever the reasons are, this video is so long. I have been like so charged, like this job where I take calls, like so forgive others, forgive yourself, and find the lesson. It's there. If you're still angry and bitter about something that happened to you, you didn't learn the lesson. Because if you learned the lesson, you'd let it go. To the sky or to the earth. Let it go. What a lovely video. Okay, so it's almost 11 minutes to